mouths belting out the quacks and the deos. Daylight come and me one go home. Somehow William was able to sing, and at the same time, even in travel, draw on paper tacked to a board across his lap. The artist making boy-type inky castles, tight lines, extreme architectural detail, the dungeons equipped with outlets and computer stations. Halfway across the state, my mother took the wheel, and soon after we both must have fallen asleep. "What are you saying?" She was speaking quietly to my father, but urgently, the blast of her tea, the incredulity in the word "what," the sound that woke us. We didn't move, both of us lodged against our windows, a little damp, a little drooly. "I want him to be able to carry on the business, Nellie," my father said. "To make it as easy as possible for him to keep going. You'd want him to do the same for me." "Carry on the business?" my mother said, leaning forward, her face practically to the dashboard. "As easy as possible for him?" she repeated. "You'd better pull over." "I'm not going to crash the car," my father said with deep apology in his voice. "I shouldn't have brought it up. We need a will, that goes without saying. I'm thinking out loud." "I just want to get it straight, your plan." "It isn't a plan. Your thought is to will the property and the business, every one of your assets, to Sherwood. To make it easy for him, the property that includes the house we live in." My father looked out the window, which we understood to mean he did not wish to continue talking, something my mother didn't seem to know. "It would be nice, Jim. It would be considerate, in the event of your death, to be able to remain in the house." She said that sentence so distinctly and sweetly, too, it seemed. "Nellie." "Just so I have it straight is all, so I can prepare. You're giving the whole of everything to Sherwood. And Dolly. Let's not leave Dolly out of the discussion. Imagine leaving Dolly out." She had to pause, stunned at such an omission. "If you're going to give the place up to them, I should probably start putting my spare change in a jar, so I have enough to care for our children, food, shelter, clothing, that kind of thing. A dime or two for college, in the event of your death," she added, her tone even more agreeable. "Our father dying?" William's eyes were narrowed in concentration. Our parents were having a joke, I thought, or maybe playing a card game. My father dying and his business partner and cousin Sherwood owning every acre? This funny, hard game, something like My Grandmother's Suitcase or I Spy. As for college, that also was ridiculous. William and I were never going away. "Aunt Florence and Uncle Jim passed down the farm to you and Sherwood and May Hill," my mother reviewing ancient history. "Yes, Nellie, all right. Let's not go into a tailspin. Let's let the funnel clouds settle elsewhere." "And so maybe you feel obligated to honor that history, maybe," my mother mused. "Sherwood would build me a house out of the scrap metal in the sheep yard. Imagine the house that Sherwood could make. No, this will be fun." We could tell she didn't mean real fun in the game of theirs. Sherwood famously invented all kinds of never-before-heard-of contraptions, and he tried to build regular tools and machines, too. It was unlikely, we knew this, that he could successfully erect a whole house. "Our place," she was saying. "Oh, Jim, it will have a laundry chute like a marble run, underwear, socks, washcloths, skating down tubes through all the lopsided, slanting rooms, kicking off bells and whistles before they land in the washing machine. How great is that?" She turned to my father, looking at him for longer than seemed a safe driving practice. "The floors," she went on, "will be made of arable soil. You mow it instead of mopping. Plus, we can grow radishes under the table." Another hard look at him. "And play golf." "Nellie," he said wearily, "get off at the next exit, will you please?" "I do understand that for you the farm is the most important feature of the world," she said quietly and almost sadly. "I do know that. I'm not going to dwell on the money I put into the operation. Gladly I put the nest egg in, gladly." What money? We were always puzzled about money. Whose was what, and why my father's jaw went taut when the subject came up. He turned around to see if we were still sleeping, our eyes snapping shut. "You do